If your gut's messed up, obviously that's going to impact how you feel because your body isn't screaming for drugs. It's screaming for nutrition and it's screaming to detoxify. Hey guys, my name's Craig Brocky. I wanted to share my story with you, so let's take a ride. So 30 years ago, my health was an absolute disaster. I was in chronic pain, crippling anxiety really, and I was sick all the time. My immune system was absolutely shot. I went to see multiple doctors and no one could really tell me what was wrong with me and how to get better. And I'd really given up hope at that point because I just didn't know how I was gonna get better because all these specialists and doctors just couldn't help me. I tried psychologists, physiotherapy, chiropractic, and I was just left with this pain, anxiety, and sickness. It was just terrible. Then something changed. Actually, everything changed. I got introduced to this massage therapist of all things, but this wasn't just any ordinary massage therapist. This guy, his name is Nigel Jeffers. He's in Winnipeg, Manitoba, where I was living at the time. And he was practicing deep tissue massage, but he was also a very spiritual guy. He did Qigong, which is a Chinese practice of breath work and energy work. He taught me what he was doing for my health was 10% of it, and the other 90% was up to me. He put the responsibility on me to make myself better. And so that was excellent. He also put me in touch with naturopathic medicine, and that was really a total game changer for me. I did a series of tests at the Vancouver Naturopathic Clinic out on the west coast of Vancouver in Canada, and I learned that my body was very acidic. I had a leaky gut and I had fungal overgrowth. This fungus called candida. It's very, very common. In fact, everybody's got it in your body, but you want to have the candida under control and you want to have beneficial bacteria or probiotics really in charge. And that was not the case for me. I had a leaky gut and my probiotics were destroyed from taking antibiotics in high school. So let's back it up a little bit. Before I got really, really sick, in high school, I was taking antibiotics for acne because I was quite self-conscious when I was getting acne in high school. I wanted to be cool and look good. So I took an antibiotic called tetracycline, and I took that for 18 months straight, and that absolutely destroyed my health. I got into university, started partying, I was using alcohol and drugs, and I was stressed out and really not taking care of myself, drinking too much, partying too much, not sleeping enough. And then I got into 2 car accidents. Actually, I got into a car accident, and then a week later I got into a boat accident. And that left me with chronic neck and back pain. And that's when I knew I had to do something different. Because here I was at 21 years old, my health had just fell apart. So fortunately, naturopathic medicine helped heal my gut. And what people need to know is that your gut doesn't just handle your digestion, but it also handles a lot to do with your mood and your immune system. And even your hormones are produced in your gut. So the American Psychological Association, even them on their website, acknowledge that 95% of serotonin, which is the feel-good hormone or neurotransmitter, serotonin is actually produced in your gut. So 95% of the serotonin comes from your gut. So if your gut's messed up, obviously that's going to impact how you feel. Healing my gut was just a game changer totally. And then we got into things like cleaning up my liver, and that helped get rid of chronic allergies that I had. And my immune system got better. My pain diminished also. Another thing I learned about was MSM, which is a natural sulfur or organic sulfur. And that really helps oxygenate the body and helps reduce inflammation and helps reduce chronic pain. So that was really helpful for me. Another supplement that helped a lot early on was called Kava Kava. That really helped diminish my anxiety. But there's other things people can use these days. There's a peptide called C-Lank, which is excellent. You can use it as a nasal spray. There's also ashwagandha. Magnesium can be really good. In fact, magnesium I think is one of the most important minerals a person can take. And when it comes to magnesium, there's actually many, many different forms of magnesium you can take. And there's 2 that stand out for me. One's called magnesium glycinate, and that's got a very high absorption rate. And then there's one called magnesium threonate. It's sold under the brand name Magnetine. It's actually patented. And that's the only one that actually crosses the blood-brain barrier. So that can help with calmness and mood a lot. But magnesium actually helps loosen your muscles and it helps calm your nerves. So that's why that one's important. Here I am at 51 years of age. Most people think I'm at least 10 years younger than my actual age. In fact, I've done DNA tests that measure telomeres. Telomeres are the end caps on your chromosomes and your genes. And I have telomere lengths of a newborn child, actually. So in that regard, at least, I've really mastered anti-aging and longevity. I'm sure I have a lot to learn still, and I can do better in terms of practicing what I preach. But I do my best, and I think that goes for anybody. It's important not to beat yourself up when you fall off the wagon, and instead just get back on the wagon and take your next step, or continue on the step that you're taking. So in my book, Ultimate Health, I break it down for people to make it really, really simple. The first chapter is all about gut health and specifically your colon health, and how cleansing your colon and getting that nasty stuff out of your body and any kind of buildup in there out of your body, and having regular bowel movements, how to do that to make sure that when you start detoxing your other organs, that all these toxins make an exit so you don't get any adverse reaction. The thing is, when you start to detoxify and you're shaking up these toxins, that's like shaking up a bag of dirty water. And all of a sudden, these toxins can overwhelm your system. You can have negative reaction. Some people call it a healing crisis, but the symptoms can be like cold and flu-like symptoms, headaches, and these are things you don't want to have when you're detoxifying. So that's why it's really important to get your colon clean and make sure you're eliminating regularly to avoid these negative side effects of detoxification as you're experiencing them. So that's what chapter 1's all about. It really builds a foundation for your detox and repair of your body. Then chapter 2 is all about oxygen therapies. The title of the chapter is actually called Flood Your Body with Oxygen. In fact, there's an excellent book by that title by an author named Ed McCabe, who did a lot of research into this area. But basically, oxygen is pro-life and it's also anti-disease. So disease does not thrive in an oxygen-rich environment. Even cancer can be killed by high oxygen levels, especially ozone, which is an activated form of oxygen. So in chapter 2, I talk all about oxygen therapies and how to boost oxygen in your body. Now, there's a great author and influencer, his name Wim Hof. He teaches an excellent breathing technique you can do. And there's also supplements you can take that increase oxygen. MSM is actually one that helps increase oxygen levels in your body. And pairing that with deep breathing or exercising with oxygen or doing any kind of ozone treatment. There's even oxygen water baths that you can do these days. The brand name is called Cocoon. That's K-A-Q-U-N. And there's a new one called Bimini. But these are actually oxygen baths where there's a technology that increases the concentration of oxygen or soluble oxygen in the water. So when you're bathing in it, that transfers through your skin and into your body and raises your oxygen levels. And then there's hyperbaric oxygen treatments, which pro athletes have been using for years to recover faster and get through injuries. Anyway, oxygen is really good for your body. That's what chapter 2 is all about. And it just continues from there on a gradient and teaches you how to detoxify, get the right nutrition, and allow your body to heal, because your body does want to heal. Your body isn't screaming for drugs. It's screaming for nutrition and it's screaming to detoxify, because when these toxins are in your organs, in your mind, they cause problems. So you want to get the toxins out and you want to get the right nutrients in there so your body can repair. And that's what Ultimate Health is all about. So I'm going to skip right into chapter 7, and chapter 7 is all about how you feel, because these days we live in a high pace, high stress environment, and it's really difficult. Even in a first world country like the United States, you see a lot of depression, a lot of anxiety, people stressed out, and they don't know what to do. So chapter 7 is all about that. And I used to live with crippling anxiety, and I've tried many, many things to handle that. And I've condensed that and summarized it in chapter 7 to teach you how easy it is to really feel calm, relaxed, happy, and avoid anxiety, avoid worrying, so that you can get on with your life. Helping others is really what motivates me, and I think you'll find that when you're helping other people and they're getting results and you're seeing the positive benefits in them, that you're also going to feel better about yourself. And that's what makes me feel good. That's why I do what I do, because I love helping others. And I want you to be happy. I want you to be healthy. So for more videos like this, subscribe to this channel and turn on the notifications.